Hello, Allison Whipple, founder of 9 Square Press, back at Shaw Park for the 4th video in my Haiku Walk or Ginko series. And today I want to present you with a couple of options if going out, getting outside and doing a walking Ginko is maybe not ideal for you. I'm also, in my many roles, I'm a Pilates instructor, and one of the things that's very important to me in my Pilates teaching practice is finding ways to modify things and give people the benefit of maybe certain exercises that they can't do due to physical or mental limitations. And that's a thing I would like to do for haiku poets as well, because I think Ginko are wonderful and not everyone's going to be able to take advantage of them for whatever reason. So these are some options to cultivate the spirit of a Ginko, even if you can't necessarily go do one. So first, say going out, and maybe it's summer and you have a limitation around going out and walking in the heat. Reasonable. And so one of the things I like to do is, like, if I'm doing public transit, I like to treat that as an opportunity to do a sort of public transit Ginko. Now, it's certainly different from a slow-paced walking experience. Even a bus in a congested street is probably going to move somewhat faster than someone who's walking. But it is a great opportunity to, say, look around and see who else is on the bus. What are the other signs of life and vitality on that bus? And can those inspire you? Even just looking out the window as you're going past, that's going to yield some very worthwhile observations about the seasons. And hey, if you're stuck in traffic, that's going to be a lot of good time to pause and reflect and observe and maybe write. And even if you're at a bus stop or a train stop for a short period of time, that is a good way to challenge yourself. How many interesting things can I observe just while we are stopped? Now, if you are housebound, there are also ways you can, again, cultivate the spirit of Ginko. If going outside is feasible, do a really slow tour of your own backyard or even your balcony. I don't care how small your space is, get creative with it. See what you can do to really say, this corner of my balcony is a different place. This corner, or this segment of my yard, this segment of my yard. What does the portion look like that has a tree versus the portion that has that weird patch of poison ivy that I just can't seem to kill, right? And even if going outside isn't an option, room to room of your house, look out every single window, look at every single vantage point of, that between the internal and external world. And even if you don't have a lot of windows, what's in the kitchen? What's in the living room? And again, these will probably be more like human-centered pieces that might lend themselves more to Senryu, but that's fine. And also, I think that's a good opportunity to remember that even if we are inside, we are not inherently 100% disconnected from nature. We are part of nature, even if we are inside our domiciles. So where can we find elements of that? And the last thing is something I have been trying to cultivate more in my own practice, which is it doesn't actually involve it does involve getting outside, and I admit it involves binoculars or a telescope. Now, binoculars are like relatively cheap, even in this economy. Telescopes are a bit more of an investment, but if you maybe you have a friend who's into astronomy who can borrow one. So you need a night sky, and again, this will be a little more challenging from people in the cities. These are not perfect suggestions. These are just, ideas I have to try to expand, the spirit of a Ginko in other ways. But to hang out in a yard and watch the night sky. And the fact is that I did just say like a telescope would be helpful. That is to see certain planets, but there is a lot of interesting stuff in the night sky that you can simply observe, even if you don't have any extra tools. You can find a really prominent constellation and watch as that moves through the sky. You can watch as the moon moves from the sky. You can watch as the whole pattern of the sky changes throughout the night. Just sit out there and watch it. I think I'm really speaking to my own practice here, but so much of my practice is like, well, like this little creek here, or all that grass behind me, or the trees. I don't find myself looking up at the sky as much as I think I could, and I've been trying to consciously cultivate that in 2026. And looking up at the sunny sky can hurt you. It can't really hurt you, but it can be difficult to like really sustain looking up at a sunny sky. But looking up at a night sky, that can yield a lot of important, fruitful, creative things. And you can maybe learn to identify some new constellations, or identify a planet. Even, there are like 5 planets that we can see even without any extra assistance. They're pretty small, but we can identify them. So especially if maybe a ginkgo is not great for you, but even if it is, and you just want to spend a night like doing haiku about the night sky, oh, I recommend it. So those are my tips, and with that, I will, by the time this posts, I will have completed my most recent haiku walk. The next one will be in July. Once again at the Soulard Station. 9 squarepress.com will have details when we get a little closer to the date. And other than that, like and subscribe. I hope you have a great week. I hope you get some nice haiku moments in your future.